Hello there and welcome to my channel. My name is NonGone and I've never been really good at anything. I finally one day said enough is enough, and using the power of the internet and a little help from my friends, I decided to learn how to do stuff. And you can too. So today we might as well call this episode NonGone Learns to Break His Arm. Today we're going to learn to skateboard. So back when I was a kid, Tony Hawk was just getting popular. I think I was about 7 when he won his first Skater of the Year. I thought he was so cool. Just watch him do tricks on the half pipe and stuff. I was a big fan of Skate or Die as well. That game came out. I was a big video gamer. Remember Skate or Die? Anyway, they had these cool boards, like it could look kind of like this. I begged my parents finally to get a skateboard. When I finally got one, it looked more like this. So as you can imagine, not as much fun. Can't do any tricks. My siblings and I played with it for a little bit and then kind of got tired. Life's funny, you know, I've always kind of wanted to do it, but I've never really had the opportunity since. And I've decided today's the day that stops. I am going to learn to skate or die. So what are we going to need? Well, first we're going to need a goal. What would I have to do to feel like I could say I know how to skate? Well, I certainly don't want to do like a no-footed 960 crab rangoon dive bomb somersaulted with knack 180 heel flip or anything. I can't even believe I said that without stuttering. I'm not trying to get good at this. I'm not trying to be a pro. I also don't want to just ride around for a few minutes and say I know how to ride a skateboard. So let's try and find something in the middle. I did a little research and I found that a kickflip was probably pretty good for this. It sounds pretty basic, advanced enough. I could probably just rush in to try to learn kickflips, right?
Don't just rush into trying to learn kickflips.
Well, I guess I'm going to need more than a goal then. Let's see what the internet has to say. Okay, this one looks pretty good. Tactics Board Shop, beginner video. They got a series. Okay, we're going to go with that as our internet expert. And I also know a guy at work that skates hard enough to bust his collarbone. So I bet he'd give me some tips. So we got our experts. We're definitely going to need a skateboard. Fortunately, my guy from work was nice enough to loan me his spare one for a few weeks. Thanks for that, man. I think you can get one online for less than $100 if you need to, though. Let's see, what else are we going to need? Oh, pads. Yeah, pads. Okay. Standard sets of helmet, 2 knee pads, 2 elbow pads. The one I got was $30 on Amazon. I'll put a link to this and also the tactics video up in the description. The one I got included wrist guards, which is great. Any more joints I can protect are good. First, I was pretty stubborn about this. I highly suggest you do not be stubborn about this. I was like, how hard can it be? Jumped on the board, took off down the street. 5 minutes in, I was tasting the dirt in my neighbor's front yard. Right on my knee, landed, scraped my knee, tore my jeans. The jeans cost more than the pads would have. So, you know, fortunately, it was only a minor injury. It was definitely a major continuity error. So anyway, I was still too stubborn to learn. I was like, you know what? I'll just grab some bubble wrap from the warehouse. Yeah, real smart. Bit it again, scraped up my foot, banged my head, limbs at angles that are not natural. Bubble wrap, really. Well, at least it sounded cool when I crashed. Pop, 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 pop. I got even bigger continuity errors. What is that? Just buy the pads. I can't believe this was even an issue. Okay, so what's the plan? Well, I looked at the tactics video and I talked to my guy at work, Scottie. We're gonna call him Scottie Sizzles. He goes by Skid too, you know. So talk to tactics, talk to Scottie. Looks like we're gonna break this challenge down into 3 parts. Number 1, first we're gonna get comfortable riding the skateboard and doing little kick turns. They call them tacks. Secondly, we're going to learn to ollie. More on that later. And then third, we'll learn to do the actual kickflip. So I got all the stuff. I got the energy. I got the persistence. Let's get started. Back when I was younger, somebody told me that you could master anything if you dedicate 30 minutes a day to it. And I'm learning pretty quick that the skateboard thing is not going to be like an afternoon project. So I'm going to invoke the 30-minute rule. I'm going to dedicate 30 minutes a day to this until I hit that kickflip. And this is day 1. The first thing from the video I learned that you want to do is figure out what foot goes first on your skateboard. And the easiest way to do that is to get in your socks, slide across the kitchen floor. Whatever foot you put down first to be your lead foot should be your lead foot on a skateboard. And I found it's most comfortable to put it right here on the screws and angle it a little bit to the left. It's my right foot. And then my back foot kind of just rests on the back of the board, like the real back, the part that's angled up. So I can't really think of anything good to do for the first day other than just get on the board and ride it around the neighborhood. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Okay, we're back, and I did learn a couple of things. First of all, it's really hard to balance on a skateboard. Second of all, riding a skateboard is like doing a squat every 10 feet. So if you can do like 100 squats, then you're in better shape than me. I had to give up after about 17 or 18 minutes because my legs are starting to fail. That's one tip that I will give you real quick is if you are starting to get exhausted, do not continue. You'll just hurt yourself, and it'll just hurt tomorrow. You won't be able to do anything. Work your way up. It's maybe you'll get 19 minutes tomorrow, maybe 23 the day after that. Eventually you could do the full 30. The other tip, and I can't believe I forgot this the first day, Scottie mentioned this, stretch. My gosh, stretch. You're using your legs a lot. So he recommends 3 stretches for skateboarding. One is the standard pull your leg up, stretch your thigh right there. Just do that about 3 or 4 times for 15 seconds each on each thigh, on each leg. The second one is this little thing with the skateboard where you put your foot on the skateboard and grab the top and just kind of bend forward like that. And the third one is to just sit there and roll each ankle. You'll stretch all those little muscles and connective things in there. So definitely do the stretch. I'll definitely do that tomorrow. So I'll see you then. All right, it is day 2, and I am still pretty uncomfortable. My legs are hurt pretty bad from yesterday in the thighs and the calves, the big muscles. So I'm going to stay in the garage today and just work on kick turns, which is where you push up with your back foot and move left and right with your front foot with the wheels off the ground. And I got the garage is flat and it's got some railings, so I'm hopefully it will be more stable. And I'm just going to do that, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so day 2 is done. I was able to get about 23 minutes of my 30 in before I got exhausted. My thighs and calves weren't worked out nearly as much as riding around the neighborhood, but those little stabilizer muscles in the bottom of my legs, man, wow, I didn't even know I had those. I feel like Neo in the Matrix, you know, like, why do my legs hurt? Well, you've never used them before. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing this. I got a little more comfortable as the session went on. I'm a lot better going left than right with my kick turns, but I'm going to work on both of them. And hopefully I won't need to grab the rails too much as I get better. So I'm going to keep up with that, and I'll see you when my pads get here in a week. Okay, so I know I said I'd be back in a week. It's actually been about 2.5 weeks. I've been pretty loyal to the 30-minute commitment. Maybe 11 or 12 days out of those 16, I've spent 30 minutes on the board. As you can see from the video, I feel a lot more comfortable riding around. I feel a lot more comfortable doing kick turns. It's actually rather enjoyable. I can get around the block without wanting to die. So I have definitely made progress. I've also spent about a week trying to work on ollies, which is part 2 of this. And I've learned conclusively that this is going to take more than a little bit of time to learn. So rather than keep this part off of YouTube for the next couple of months while I learn, I'm just going to go ahead and call this part 1. We're going to go dun, 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 to be continued, and leave it right here for the moment. I will be back. I'm a pretty persistent fella. I don't know if you've picked that up from some of the stuff that I do. So I'll be back with part 2, and we'll learn to actually do some tricks. In the meantime, though, I did want to say this is probably a pretty complete video if you're just trying to learn to ride a skateboard. I feel a lot more comfortable with it. A little bit of practice goes a long way. I do feel happy that I'm finally learning something that I've always wanted to know since I was a kid. Like I said, part 2 and 3 are going to take quite a bit more effort and persistence, and that is fine. But in the meantime, I'm pretty happy with that. And I think really for $100 in equipment and a couple of weeks of practice, it's very rewarding to make those strides. So I suggest you do it. But yeah, I'll be back whenever I get done. And in the meantime, stay bad, people. NonGone is gone.